up, everybody? It's your favorite princess who saw her world blown up's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the recently released Hot Toys Bespin Leia from Empire Strikes Back. The face on this one blew me away, so to speak. Like, just took me back a couple steps. So I'm anxious to get her reviewed so I can get her displayed. I got a feeling this is one of the good ones, but I haven't looked at her too in depth yet, so I figured we could do it together. But in order to do so, we got to start with accessories. She comes with this display base, and I don't know how to describe this. I'm gonna try, okay? Bear with me. This is the nicest, cheapest thing I've ever seen in my life. Let me try to explain. So she comes with this. We'll start here. This is kind of standard. They've used this for most of the original trilogy stuff, if not all of it. It has the grates there. They're sculpted and painted, and then it has the nice plaque here, and actually mine's a little bent, but not the biggest deal in the world, with Princess Leia carved in it as well. Then you have this. This is a sticker. I advise not using the sticker element of it. Just put it on and then apply your two-prong tension system, because if you ever want to take the sticker off, it's not a simple peel away, I can tell you from experience. So this is all fine, right? This is standard issue stuff, no big deal. This, on first glance, this seems great. I thought it was going to be a plastic, and there's a ton of sculpt work in here and all of this, and it's probably digitally done for sure, but I mean, interesting looking nonetheless and kind of nice. And then I saw the back, and it's styrofoam. So it's a styrofoam rectangle with this thin piece of plastic kind of placed on top. Looks nice, but really cheap. It is magnetized down here at the bottom, which is nice because it'll connect to your stand with no problem. And we'll take a look at how this looks as we get closer to the end of the review, but it's I don't know how to, it's the nicest, cheapest thing I've ever seen. She comes with two holding hands. One is kind of a more gripping hand, and the other one is more of like a gesture holding hand, as well as the two relaxed hands that you saw in the opening footage. But she comes with, well, I mean, to be honest, it's much like Neil Diamond, you see. Left me alone here with nothing to hold. Then she also came with two replacement wrist pegs should you break yours while swapping out the hands. They peg into the forearm, they peg into the hand, and it's a ball hinge that sits in between. It'll swivel at both sides so you can get it hinged in, out, or up, down at any angle depending on how you'd like it. So that all is going to work well. Forgive the picture, it's hard to find really high quality pictures of her from this era, but like this looks amazing to me. Like the accuracy, like they've got her down. The shape of the hair on her brow, the shape of the eyes, the eyebrow. Her eyebrow is very unique, and I think it's where most places mess up in getting her right. When I say places, I mean companies, but this is just dead to right. The shape of the face, the chin, the indentation from the cheeks to the chin, like the jawline, like it just all looks right. An absolutely fantastic job. The wisps of hair, the bun, it all, no complaints. And to be honest, the same can be said for her outfit. The middle piece that sits along her abdomen, the skirt, pants, the cut of the sleeves. I think that the piece that goes around the shoulders should be a little bit more puffier, but that's really my only criticism. Also, it looks like some of the designs in the fabric aren't entirely accurate, but it also could be that, no, they are. It's just that this is not sitting as far in front, because this has, you know, that design there on it. It's just not curled around as much as hers is, because it doesn't have the weight, really. That's what it is there. But I think the look is definitely there. It's just going to be a matter of posing it. So let's talk about the paint. And there's not much, but there is a fair amount on the face, and the face is done beautifully, so I definitely want to take the time to talk about that. So the eyes are painted beautifully. You know, the gloss over top of the eyes, the eyeshadow, the eyebrows, the lips. It's all like there's a little blush in the cheeks. Just wonderfully done. The hair sculpted, painted beautifully. Shades of brown throughout. The braids sculpted, painted beautifully. I just don't have any complaints. For the first time in my life, maybe. But yeah, the hands are sculpted and painted. Not as much kind of to write home about here, sort of business as usual, but they're done well enough. There's some shading going on in the skin tones, and the nails are sculpted in as well. The only other thing to talk about really are the feet. And they're done well enough. There's some shading in the skin tones. Once again, we have this metallic sort of pinkish, purplish color, and then the bottoms are done in a different color. And then there's a little seam of gold around the top of the foot there. You know, it's not a lot of paint because most of it is soft goods, but all of it is done well. Speaking of the soft goods, we have the pants and the dress, which are of the same material, and it's a nice loose material, so it kind of sits and has some natural sort of folds and stuff in it, like it doesn't get caught up. It gives it a little bit of weight. It looks really good and it feels nice, like, and it's going to give too with the articulation, I'm hoping. So no issues there. Nice seams, and the stitching is all done. I feel like to scale, you know, that's been one of my issues with Hot Toys, is sometimes I feel like the stitching is too big, kind of throws the whole thing off, but that looks smart. This is a padded piece here around her abdomen, and then we have the same for the sleeves, and then we have the kind of cloak, right? And this thing is beautiful. You have the stitching along here, which is supposed to give the puffy look. It doesn't really work 100%, but it does give a little bit of it. And then we have the sort of seamed, you know, pleats down the side. It comes down to a wiry bottom, so you can pose that a little bit, crunch that up, or whatever you want to do. And then on the inside, it has the kind of sheer material, and that's stitched onto it. It's just beautiful, man. And then all of the kind of designs on it, you know, these like flowery things, and all these designs, the black, gold, white, and red. I mean, it's breathtaking, dude. Like, it's so accurate. It's nuts. One of my favorite Hot Toys, I think, ever, in terms of how they did it. And then we had the inside flap here, like this faux leather piece. It gives it something. You know, it gives it a little bit of weight, and it gives it a little bit of break in texture. All right, let's talk articulation. So we have a double ball peg from the head into the neck, which is nice. So the head is actually a separate piece from the neck. Hot Toys doesn't always do this. A lot of times they have the neck and head connected as one piece. So the reason why they usually have it that way is so that you don't have the seam from the head to the neck, but I don't think that's bothersome. To me, it's a small price to pay to get some extra articulation and attitude. Look how, I mean, you get all the way up to there, down, side to side, at an angle. Like, I think it's definitely worth the cost of doing business. We have a shoulder hinge that comes into a ball peg inside of the chest. With the soft goods, you get up to 90 degrees. You can even get past it. And you can get all the way up. You could probably keep going around, but I don't want to twist the material too much. You have a butterfly as a result of the ball peg into the chest, so you can get the arms fairly in front of the shoulders and back. You can have is there a bicep swivel? There's a bicep swivel, double hinged elbow that gets you the full range, and we've already talked about the wrist articulation, and that's going to go the same for the other side. Now, there is, not to be a weirdo, but there is some sort of padding in her chest. I'm not sure why or what the purpose was there, why it wasn't just sculpted with the material sitting on it. I'm sure they had a reason for it. But so forgive as I am trying to find the articulation points, but it's a double ball peg from the chest into the abdomen and then a single from the abdomen into the pelvis. This is something else that they don't always do and probably should be doing. As a result, come on, no issues. Back, no issues. Side to side, and the swivel. It's flawless. Flawless, which is not always the case. We have what feels like ball pegs for the legs. Look at that range of motion there. There, no issues. Thighs swivel around the ball peg. It's minimal, but it's there. But you do get the swivel at the ankle, so that'll help with any pose. I like to pull it off. Clever stuff. All right, we have a double hinge knee. Not the prettiest, but effective. And you have the ankles, which are screwed in. That's a little interesting. It's a little off-putting too. I'm not sure why they did that. Because if you can cover it down with the pants, so it's fine. But should the pants ever rise up, you will see it, and that's kind of a bummer. But you get an ankle tilt up as a result, an ankle tilt down as a result, and then a crazy rocker. I hate to say this. So I'm gonna save it for the final thoughts, but it might have finally happened. Final thoughts wise, it's pretty much perfect. I could nitpick it. You know, it'd probably be nicer if the sleeves were slightly longer. It'd be nice to have more accessories, but she doesn't really have any accessories in the movie while she's in this outfit. Like, I could nitpick it with stuff like that. You know, the backdrop is cheesy, but it also works. So at the end of the day, like, look, it's sculpted beautifully. It's painted beautifully. Strong presence, good materials. The soft goods integrate well. Doesn't get in the way in the articulation one iota. Plus the stitching is in scale. The materials of the fabrics feel good and appropriate. Maybe a little puffier around the collar wouldn't have hurt. They changed out the head neck for the head to the double ball peg to the neck. 2 points of articulation within the torso. Ankle rocker completely intact. Like, they've just made every change that I've ever had, like in regards to a criticism or recommendation to Hot Toys. Everything I've ever, like, I've been saying it for years now, and everything that I've said, they've done. Obviously, I had nothing to do with that. I'm definitely not on their radar, but everything I've been saying, it's like they went down my list and just changed every single one of my recommendations. An amazing figure. The best thing I've handled so far this year. So strong recommend from me. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.